Goloka Vrndavana Krishnaloka, an essential subject from Vinipedia. Modern theorists in physics posit that we may live in a multiverse, an infinite realm of being or potential being of which the universe is regarded as a part or instance. This includes the notion that perhaps just as we exist in our universe, there may be other versions of us in other parallel universes. Perhaps we are even quantum entangled with one or more of those doppelgangers. Another closely related theory is that we live in one of multiple separate universes which perhaps neither interact with nor contain copies of us. There are certainly more theories in this line of thinking among theoretical physicists. We can compare these ideas with the Vedic understanding of material reality. We currently exist in one material universe and we can be transferred to another with the help of a higher authority. Likewise, we can even be transferred to the transcendent spiritual universe, which is understood to be our original home. Within this spiritual universe, there is a hierarchy of planets. The topmost planet, or Loka, is Krishna's own planet. Goloka Vrndavana or Krishnaloka. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinikote's Goloka Vrndavana Krishnaloka category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 8 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. Krishna, the original VU, by expanding his internal potency, created the inhabitants of Vrndavana. In the Brahma Sahit it is confirmed that the paraphernalia and the abode of Krishna are expansions of his internal potency. The same internal potency Krishna exhibits in Goloka Vrndavana is exhibited in the earthly Vrndavana, where he enjoys himself with his parents and in the company of his friends, the cowherd boys and gopas. Krishna Book, Chapter 38. When one searches for a devotee and fortunately gets a devotee's association, one actually begins to study and understand Bhagavad Gita. By advancement in the association of the devotee, one is placed in devotional service, and this service dispels all one's misgivings about Krishna or God, and Krishna's activities, form, pastimes, name and other features. In the advanced stage, one falls completely in love with Krishna. This highest perfectional stage of life enables the devotee to be transferred to Krishna's abode in the spiritual sky, Goloka Vrndavana, where the devotee becomes eternally happy. Bhagavad Gita 8.28. In the spiritual sky the Vaikuha planets are predominated by an Arya. His devotees have the same features he does, and the exchange of devotion there is on the platform of reverence. But above all these Vaikuha planets is Goloka or Krishnaloka, where the original personality of Godhead, Krishna, fully manifests his pleasure potency in free loving affairs. Since the devotees in the material world know almost nothing about these affairs, the Lord desires to show these affairs to them. Kaitanya Karatam Ta, DLL 4.30. All the Vaikuha planets are like petals of a lotus flower, and the principal part of that lotus, the center of all the Vaikuhas, is called Krishnaloka or Goloka Vrndavana. Thus the expansions of Krishna in various forms, as described herein, as well as his various abodes on the spiritual planets in the spiritual sky, are unlimited. Even demigods like Brahma and Eva cannot see the Vaikuha planets or even estimate their number or vast extent. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Chapter 9. At the time of death, the mind and intelligence of a living entity create the subtle form of a certain type of body for the next life. If the mind suddenly thinks of something not very congenial, one has to take a corresponding birth in the next life. On the other hand, if one can think of Krishna at the time of death, he can be transferred to the spiritual world, Goloka Vrndavana. This process of transmigration is very subtle. Therefore RLAR Pagosvam advises devotees to train their minds in order that they will be unable to remember anything other than Krishna. Nectar of Instruction, Text 8. Within the supreme spiritual planet, Goloka Vrndavana, from which the Brahmajyotra effulgence is emanating, the Lord enjoys his eternal pastimes, as verified in the Brahma Sahit 5.29. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, fulfilling all desires in abodes filled with spiritual gems and surrounded by millions of wish-fulfilling trees. He is always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakamas or goddesses of fortune. The Brahmajyotra is described in the Brahma Sahit as the rays emanating from that supreme spiritual planet, Goloka Vrndavana, just as the sun's rays emanate from the sun globe. Shri Isaupaniad, Mantra 16. The process of Vidyamrga, following the regulative principles, is utilized in the worship of Lakam and Arya, whereas the process of spontaneous service following in the footsteps of the goddess, who are the denizens of Vrndavana, is transcendentally more advanced and is the process whereby RDH and Krishna are worshipped. One cannot attain this elevated position while worshipping the Lord in his opulence. Those attracted by the conjugal love between RDH and Krishna must follow in the footsteps of the goddess. Only then is it possible to enter into the Lord's service in Goloka Vrndavana and directly associate with RDH and Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya LL 8.230. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna gives only a small hint of his personal abode, Goloka Vrndavana, which is the supermost planet in the spiritual kingdom. When one attains to it, he never returns to the material world. Krishna's supreme abode and Krishna himself are non-different, being of the same quality. On this earth, Vrndavana, 90 miles southeast of Delhi, is a replica of that supreme Goloka Vrndavana located in the spiritual sky. When Krishna descended on this earth, he sported on that particular tract of land known as Vrndavana, comprising about 84 square miles in the district of Mathur, India. Bhagavad Gita 8.21